Welcome back, guys. We are continuing on with our STAAR review. All right, guys, we're going to be talking about adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing integers today. So let's take a look at our STAAR questions that we're going to review for today. All right, number one, Serena bought 5 shirts for $6 each and spent $7 on lunch. She paid for the shirts and lunch using her debit card. The change in the balance of Serena's checking account can be represented by the expression shown. Which integer represents the change in the balance of Serena's checking account from these purchases? All right, so here's the breakdown of this. She bought 5 shirts. Here's our 5. Each shirt costs $6. That's why it has a -6, because that's money being spent, okay? 5 times -6. She also bought lunch for $7. Again, that money's being spent, so it's a negative right there, okay? So remember our sleepy triangle, negative, negative, positive, right? If I am multiplying or dividing a negative and a positive, then my answer will be negative. If I'm multiplying or dividing 2 negatives, my answer will turn to a positive, okay? If they're both positive, they stay positive. All right, let's take a look. Orders of operations tells me I need to deal with the parentheses first. So let's ignore the sign. What's 5 times 6? 5 times 6 is 30. Now let's go back and look at the signs. Our 5 is positive, our 6 is negative. So I have 1 positive and 1 negative. So that 30 needs to be a negative. So I'm going to put my -30. I'm going to bring down everything else. Okay. Now I have -30 plus -7. If I cover up my operation in the middle, I can see that both of my integers have the same symbol. Both of them are negative. When they have the same sign, you add them together and keep the sign. So I'm going to line this up. I'm going to keep the sign, which is going to be negative. So I put my negative down here, but we're going to add them up. So we have 30. So our answer is going to be -37, which I do see over here as letter A. Okay. All right, let's look at the next one. Luann is playing a math game. She chooses 3 cards. The value of each of her cards is shown. The first card, is -12. The second card is a +3. The third card is a -5. What is the sum of the values of her card? And then bubble in your answer on your answer document. Remember, guys, those answer documents are not going away, and we need to know how to fill them in correctly. All right, so first of all, I'm adding all these numbers up, but I have 2 of them that are negative. So let's go ahead and combine the 2 that are negative, because we know if they have the same sign, we can add them together. So we have a -12 and a -5. They're both going to stay negative, but we're going to add them. 5, 6, 7, and then bring down our 1. So a -12 and a -5 combined is a -17. So now I'm going to rewrite this. -17, and it told us the sum, so we're adding, and then we have 3, okay? Now, if I take a look at this, I have 2 different signs. When I'm adding or subtracting negative numbers, if they have different signs, I subtract them and keep the sign of the bigger number. So if I ignore the signs, which number is bigger, 17 or 3? 17 is bigger. So I'm going to keep the sign, which is a negative. So I'm going to put a negative down here because this is where my answer is going to go. And because they have different signs, I'm going to subtract them. So 7 minus 3 is 4. Bring down our 1. So we have 14, but we're going to bring it down here to our negative. So we have -14 as our answer. Now it says to record our answer in our answer document. So let me bring in my bubble sheet. All right, remember, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing different from what you saw in elementary school is the negative and positive column. So our answer happens to be negative. So I need to start all the way over here. I need to put my negative symbol in the box. I also need to fill it in on my bubble. Remember, if I don't bubble in that negative symbol, the computer will not read it as a negative answer. It'll just think that you put a positive answer. Even though you put it up here, if you don't bubble in the negative, it's not going to count it as negative. Now, 14 is the other information that I need to put in our bubbles. 14 is a whole number. So don't write it back here. Don't put 1-4 back here, because look, this is a decimal. This is not a decimal answer. This is a whole number. So I need to be in front of the decimal. So here's my ones position. The 4 is in the ones position, and the 1 is in the tens position. Okay, so now I have negative 14. I've already bubbled in my negative. Now I need to bubble in my 1 and my 4. Again, you do not have to bubble in the zeros at the back. You do not have to bubble in the zeros at the front. If you do, it won't count it wrong. It's not changing the answer. I'm just letting you know you don't need to do that. Okay. All right, we've bubbled in our answer for this question. Okay, let's continue on. Last one for today. The expression shown can be used to calculate the amount of money in dollars a grocery store customer should receive in change when paying with $50. What amount of change in dollars should the customer receive? So she starts off with $50. That's what we see right there. Okay, and then she's going to be making all these purchases. So that's why the subtraction symbol is here. Now, remember, orders of operations tells us to take care of the parentheses first. So we have a lot of work to do. So if I just focus on the parentheses, inside the parentheses, I have addition and I have multiplication. According to PEMDAS, I need to deal with multiplication first, then the addition. So my first multiplication is right here. 2 times 5. I'm going to go ahead and cross that out and put a 10. And then the next set of multiplication I see right here. 2 times 2, that is 4. Okay. All right. I've taken care of my multiplication. Now I have nothing but addition in here. So let's go ahead and break it down. So we have 14 plus 12. So that's 26. Then the next one we have is the 10. I'm crossing it out as I go, so I keep track. 36. Then I have the 4. That's 40. Then I have the 3. 43. Okay, so all of the parentheses adds up to be 43. So now I'm going to rewrite. So 50 minus 43. I can't subtract that way, so I'm going to line it up. Need to borrow 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 7. 4 minus 4 is 0. All right, so let's look at our answer choices. I have $4, I have $26, I have $29, I have $7. According to my calculations, $7 is my answer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was our review on adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing integers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.